Alright guys, today we're going to learn how to draw some of these gems and crystals. I've got these papers that are available for you to help you. You can use them. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to practice just a little bit. I can follow along with the paper, kind of figure out how these things go. I'm going to start a little small and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to practice. Kind of see how they work for me. Alright, so I followed that one. So practice is just to help us get better, because I don't expect you to get it right on the first time. So we are going to practice on a piece of paper, just a CRT computer piece of paper, before we move on to our big one. Okay, so those are kind of like some gems. We can also do the crystal formations. We could do kind of the pointy crystals or the tourmaline style crystals. Either one works for you. You just start at the different steps and kind of follow through. So maybe I'll practice some of these. That's kind of easy enough. And they're just gonna go in different directions. And start to keep adding those different crystal shapes coming out, and then when I'm ready I can start to add the lines that make them look geometric. So the lines are what kind of give them that shape that they are shiny. Okay, you can also do it like this, where there's even another layer. So that's 1, 2 lines instead of just one. Okay, so that kind of gives my gems this shiny effect. And then when I'm ready, I can also add kind of like the rock wall that the gems grow out of. So I'm just gonna practice a little bit. When I'm done practicing, I'm gonna move on and I'm gonna do it large. So this is a nicer piece of paper, and I'm gonna go ahead and make a really large crystal drawing. So my drawing's going to get bigger. So I kind of like the cluster of crystals that I did. So you see how much bigger that is? I need it much larger on my final piece, because we are going to paint these, and if you draw them super teeny tiny, you'll be sad when it's time to paint and you don't have a whole lot to paint and you have all this empty white space. So really take up your space with your crystals. Okay, you can just kind of keep adding. You can even make some that like peek from behind. When you have however many your heart so desires, you can go as crazy as you want. Kind of give them a base that they're growing out of, and then I'll come back in and I'll add the detail lines to these. Okay. These detail lines are what's going to make your crystals look very realistic, because you know crystals have those very firm edges. They're very geometrically shaped. So adding these little detail lines, and they're just straight lines, those are pretty easy. Adding those little detail lines will really help me. All right, so what you're going to do is you will be starting in pencil. I've gone ahead and went with Sharpie just so you could see it better on the camera. So once you've drawn in pencil, you are going to trace with a black Sharpie to get your outlines. Next week, we'll paint these.